Hey, so a little bit different on this one, but I had saw a post come up for Facebook that I reshared, and it really speaks some volume into, I guess, some choices in life. And that's, okay, so it starts off, you can go to, if you go to my Facebook page, Andy McCann, then you can see it. But basically it goes, marriage is hard, divorce is hard, choose your hard. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And then it hits, obesity is hard, being fit is hard, choose your hard. So I don't know if maybe, well, I don't know if I really thought about it like this, but I love this, and it puts you in a different mindset. I talk a lot about mindset, stealing stuff from Ben Bergeron and his podcast, Chasing Excellence, lots of mindset in there. But I don't know if I've really ever thought being obese is hard. Being obese is, I would think, I guess I didn't think hard. Being fit, which is what I do, is hard, and I know the work in it. And being obese is hard, and you have to work at that too. I mean, choose your hard. Which one do you want to work at, and take the negative or positive effects, the effects that go with it. Everything has consequences, right? So yes, for fitness, I have to put time in right now. For fitness, I have to choose what I do and don't eat right now and every day. It is something that will be with me forever. It is an albatross that I put on my back, and I made a decision that when I'm 90, I will wipe my own butt, and I will go to my kids' stuff, and be an active participant in the life that goes on around me. And I am doing the hard thing now so I can do the thing in the future that I know I already want. I know I want that because I have goals, I have a good why, I have all those things. But you have to make these choices. Being obese is tough. There is stuff that comes with it. Unfortunately, like with this stuff for viruses, it hits you harder. Diabetes, shortened lifespan. It is hard. It's not, and the stuff you have to do to keep up with it is hard. That lifestyle, right? So the other one that has on there is being in debt is hard. I mean, yes, but so is being financially disciplined. That is hard. So which hard do you want to work with? The Beck Group here in Woodstock will help coach you through personal debt finances, like a Dave Ramsey type thing, or coach your business in Profit First, which I love that book. I've got it right up here. I think it comes up backwards for you guys. Maybe if I did it like this, Profit First, does it come up? I don't know if it does. But Profit First by Mike Michalowicz, which is spelled really tough spelling. But hey, Jessica, it's a choice. I mean, do I want to buy that thing right now and then live with that debt consequence? Debt is hard. Do I want to be fiscally responsible and not get the thing I want, or maybe not? Maybe prep my food because it saves me money. And actually, I guess, so that's kind of weird, actually, if you think about this. Being fit and being financially disciplined are really the same thing, because if you're disciplined in one, you're probably disciplined in the other. That's interesting. So anyway, communication is hard. Not communicating is hard. Choose the hard. So I consume a ton of material audio through my ears, auditorially, right? I can listen to podcasts at 1.5 speed, and I listen to a lot of my books at 1.7 speed, and it totally makes sense to me. It drives my wife insane. But if you're driving, educate yourself. If you're doing dishes, husbands, do the damn dishes, darn dishes. Husbands, do the dishes. Listen to something. It's great. So fold laundry, put some earphones in, listen to something, right? Educate yourself at every moment. Don't have that downtime. I don't really multitask very well, but I can listen very well. Communication. So what I meant to say is, what I heard was, man, I forgot where. I'd love to credit this with, I think it was, so just recently I asked on my Facebook feed, give me some podcasts to listen to, because I listen to a lot of stuff. And I believe it was the Jocko Wilk, whatever. He does the Dichotomy of Leadership, and the other book is Extreme Leadership. He's a Navy SEAL, so I think he quoted it from another general. But the biggest failure in communication is to think you communicated, but really haven't. So you think you said it, and we have that in my house a lot. Like, hey, so what we heard you say is that what you mean? No. I'm like, okay, well, right? So deciding to not communicate is a tough decision. You live with that guilt that, I mean, if you're in the shower and you're like, I won that, I do this all the time. Like, I win the argument later on, like 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I should have said, right? I didn't communicate. And now I'm in my head mowing or shower or whatever, and I'm winning these fights or these battles because I chose not to communicate. So it's in me. It's a hard load to carry, right? I actually got this book from a buddy of mine. I don't have it here. Somebody borrowed it, but it's called Stopping the Noise in Your Head. Great book about getting out of some like OCD options, like I must straighten everything up, as well as anxiety. And it's interesting, the tools that he had in that book, I self-taught myself, just trying to get out of my own head. And it's why I have like this AT trip that I have planned. The biggest problem for me is all the time I'll have in my head, and I nitpick myself to death, and it's tough. But anyway, not communicating is hard. Communicating is hard. Saying the thing that needs to be said. I'm about to talk to a dad hey Kaylee, I can't speak. I'm about to talk to a dad about soccer and how really his communication to his kid is probably holding her back, right? Do I communicate that? Or do I just leave it unsaid? I mean, it's my responsibility too. I will regret not telling them because I just can't live with not saying something and knowing I should have, right? Do the right thing even when it's tough, and it's probably going to hurt relationships, but communicate, right? So the next thing it says on here is choose your hard. Life is never easy. If it was, it would be boring. No one would want to, I mean, really, if you had the easy button, so sometimes we play games, me and my kids, video games, and you can type in the cheat password, like, God mode or whatever, and you're invincible, bullets don't hurt, and they're like, yeah, the game's kind of stupid. Right. When there's nothing on the line, when it's not risking anything, when there's no chance of failure, it's not fun. No one wants to do that game. The game of life is risks. The game of life is choices. The game of life is hard, right? Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And really how you deal with that loss defines who you are. Winning is easy. Yeah, we won. Party time. So I tell my soccer kids this all the time, and I tell my family this. Losing is learning. When you lose, you have a chance to fix something. My son Levi has a pretty good soccer team, and we played this one team. I forgot exactly where they're from, somewhere in Loganville. And the reason I remember them is they have one girl on their boy team, and she's phenomenal. And we beat them 3 times in one season. And this one, they were beating us. We came up with something new, and we came back. This one, we knew what to do, and we beat them. This one, I forgot exactly what happened, but we won. And, I had coached one of these because the coach was out. But we saw them in a tournament. And I'm like, guys, this is the 4th time. What do you think's going to happen? They're like, we should beat them. I'm like, the 4th time you beat them. What did you change from the last 2 times? Nothing. I'm like, okay, so expect something different. And they beat us. Now, admittedly, one way they knew to win was we need other players, so they brought in some other players to fill their ranks out, and so they beat us. So we probably should have prepared for that. They weren't going to be the same team. But losing is learning, right? So in your life, it's going to be hard. What hard do you want to face? Do I want to live with unhealthiness and obesity and that hardness that comes with that? Or do I want to start, really the fitness stuff is, to me, it's not as hard because you just simply do the same thing every day, repeatedly, small things, and they compound, that gets better and easier. So you just do them, get on a routine, get on a schedule. I say this all the time, get a mentor, right? A mentor, a coach, someone for our gym. It's coaching, mentoring, and accountability. That's what we do. We double down on all that stuff. We want people to be engaged and to be looked after, to have someone know, hey, I'm going to check, what are you doing, right? We also, we try to grow the community to create happy, humble, helpful people, those 3 things, that want to be healthy and fit now as well as when we're 90. Easy steps. I don't want you to be fit tomorrow. I want you to have those health consequences of good later. So how do we get there, right? So, it is tough out there. If you need help, or if you'd like to talk to somebody, give me a call, give me a text or email. I'm not really great on text. Email is best, or call me. If you don't have a gym that you can go to, or you need a recommendation of a book to help you in here, man, I listen to a lot of stuff, and I don't really read anything because I'm super slow, I'm a little dyslexic. or maybe a lot dyslexic, but man, I'm here. This same guy, well, actually, no, it's Chris Cooper, wrote a book, Help First, changed the way I view many things. I'm here to help. My team is here to help. Let us help. All right, guys, choose your hard.